everybody, and welcome back to the Oklahoma Esports League. I know it's been a little while since you've seen us, but we are back to play some Valorant today. Jackson and Garrett joined here again, playing Collinsville versus Classen.
Yeah, so we're still currently in the stage 6 with the school fall breaks going on. It ended up being a 2-week period, but that just means we've had a little bit more of those scattered games. That's why it's been a little bit of a wonky schedule, but it is all good. Shout out to these schools being able to be super communicative with us to be able to actually get this game on stream, even though it was a reschedule. But yeah, we have Collinsville and Classen today. Collinsville 5-0 coming into this week with Classen 4-1 with that one loss. And it looks like we're going to be loading into Sunset today. We haven't seen this map on stream, so I'm super excited for it.
Yep, starting Collinsville on the attack, Classen on the defense. We got Average Taco, Tub, Me Too, Atom Tau, I think, and Nav. On the other side, we got Adobo. Oh, I lost it. No more score. I guess we don't know. I don't know.
But it doesn't look like Classen is going to start on the defense here. So, going to be able to kind of sit. I would say this is one of the more balanced maps, Jackson, on attack and defense. I feel like a lot of it rotates around this mid control in the center. Yeah.
I would actually say I think a lot of this map is very attacker-sided, and the only reason I say that is because of that mid. I think the mid is very impressive for defenders. One smoke onto that top mid, and there's not a whole lot the defenders can do. The best they can do is kind of lurk out onto that box in the middle, but of course it's going to get cleared since it's the only cover in mid. So I think being able to take that mid space as much as possible, and especially with the counterplay, they don't even have the Cypher on this defense here. They have the Killjoy instead. Collinsville decides to take out the Raze and the Breach, I think maybe expecting them to pull out the Cypher, but they don't end up doing that. They do have the Vice, not the typical Sentinel to be played, but it is a very good option if they think they can make it work. A bit more of an aggressive Sentinel, so I think trying to play that when they're starting on the attack is not necessarily a bad idea.
Yeah, definitely the newest character in the game, so not a ton of constructed play seen around with it. Very exciting to see. And this map also got a rework, so it's a little bit changed both on the A and B site with how they are designed, especially that B site, that B main. So
yeah,
it'll be
B
interesting
has
to see.
a big hole in the middle of the site now for defenders to kind of sit in. It is a little bit better for attackers to hold post plant. I think there's less bomb plant space. As you can see in the bottom left of B site, there's not as much plant space, but there's still more area to sit in. Collinsville managing to get that bomb down. Nav and Tub going to go ahead and get those 2 picks. 3v5 here for Classen. 2 of them going to go CT. 1 going towards this short angle. Collinsville just playing it slow right now, holding these angles. Ray's going to go ahead and get on top of that box there. Sit that close angle, looking for that main look. Adam Tao finds one, does get that pick. Only 2 players remaining here for Classen, one of them half HP. Both looking to go through the CT angle, that bomb ticking down really fast. They're going to have to make a move very soon. That bomb does go down the wingman, heading towards them. The Vice does go off. Cyber Dragon manages to take out one, but Nav gets the trade. Karma not having a lot that they can do there, but all of Collinsville manages to get taken out. Doesn't really matter a whole lot since they are just going to go ahead and buy up now. But a great starting round from Collinsville. Started getting that force from Classen, as you saw 3 of the players over on that B site, 1 of them sitting in mid. A lot of pressure being forced over after making some sound onto that B and decide to take that rotate. Only 1 player sitting on that A site to get a nice and easy site take for the rest of that round.
Shout out with the Spike getting a 4K in the end of that map. Yeah, I think Collinsville was able to work the map really well and kind of tilted Classen towards the B side, showing a lot of presence early round. And it meant Collinsville 5-man hit on A side was very clear, and they didn't have to give up a lot of utility. And we saw that in the post plant there, where almost all of their utility was up and just being able to play time on that post plant. No real good opportunity for Classen to be able to retake, as we see Adobo jump peeking here. I've never seen this knife before. It looks pretty cool.
Knife.
Is it new Battle Pass knife? Yeah,
it's
looks
one
sick.
of the older ones.
Oh, okay. But it does look sick as he is jump peeking. Both sides deciding to play it slow, looking for information. Collinsville on a default here, looking to see if there's any creative plays coming out. As you know, on those ecos, we see those creative plays come out, maybe a 5-man rush with the pistol. But Classen decides to play it a little more traditionally here. We do see a little bit of an engagement on the mid. Me2 with that pick on GamerTube.
Looks like Collinsville is doing what they did last round, getting a lot of pressure over onto that A side. They get a pick from the A side in mid. They start kind of lurking back over here. 3 of Classen's players, all 4 of them now looking to get to that B site, but Collinsville made it there first without making any sound. That wall from that Vice going to go onto that flank to hold that. Nav going to get a little bit of aggressive here, knowing that they have the better guns. That smoke is going to go down onto that CT to try to get some picks. Going to see what Classen decides to do here. All of them sitting, waiting for the smoke to either go down or get some sort of util engage. Only 3 players remaining. Nav having this Guardian, going to keep peeking this. Doesn't quite get the pick that they wanted. Decides to back up after getting seen.
And I like that play. I like being able to back up there. You have a better gun. You have numbers advantage. You don't want to tilt the side and give Classen an opportunity here, especially while this time is just chewing away. Oh, not
2 of the Classen's players going through the CT. This Karma Strikes, the HA player going to go through Market here. The bomb is ticking away, though. A lot of good picks here for Classen. So many good picks. Collinsville able to clean it up, but a lot of guns taken out of their hands. Classen now with the buy up. Collinsville with not a lot of bonus to their name. Looks like this should be a Classen W unless Collinsville can start getting some strategies going their way. A couple of things that they've started doing the last couple of rounds is they've started making a lot of sound on one site while trying to go the other and forcing Classen over to that other site with some early rotates. If Classen can kind of recognize that and start adapting to that, recognizing that they might be looking for those rotates, I think they can start locking it down.
Yeah, just recognizing that they can't over-rotate on these situations. Collinsville's been doing really, really well with their utility, being able to take a lot of free space. Even with Classen actually winning their gunfights in the last round, not having enough time because of the excellent use of utility coming out from Collinsville. But they are at a heavy gun disadvantage here. We see a little bit more of a riskier play. This Vice moving up the middle, looking for another pick here, being able to get 2 on the eco round as well.
4 players for Classen already forced over to the A side. Collinsville deciding to go ahead and back up here, I think knowing that Classen is going to force that over. The Omen even going towards this A side. All 5 of Classen's players positioned towards this A side with Me2 here on the Vice towards this mid with this Spectre. Collinsville going to get over to B site first yet again is going to be Classen over there, going to maybe get this bomb down, except they're playing a little slow, thinking that maybe one of Classen's players are still there. If they can just go ahead and take this site, the Rain and the Neon starting to lurk back over for Classen. Going to go ahead and send those smokes out maybe. There's one onto Market. The Reyna sees it, knowing that it looks like they're going to take the B commit. The other smoke going down onto CT. Classen going to do the smart play and just go ahead and wait. Maybe try to get a pick. The smoke not quite in the position that Collinsville might have wanted. NMI getting a nice pick onto Average Taco into the... Through the smoke, Me2 getting a nice trade onto Karma. 4v4. NMI getting another onto Adam Tao. That flash coming out, recognizing that that door is closed. Adobo getting 1, Tub getting another, Cyber Dragon getting another, Me2 the only one remaining. NMI is going to stick that defuse with only a Spectre. What can they do? Manages, oh, I thought they were going to get that pick there, but an unfortunate spray from that Spectre. Cyber Dragon does clean it up. Classen getting that bonus round victory, now going into full buys from both teams.
Yeah, Collinsville has noticed or really played on the Sentinel being able to take a lot of mid control. Getting that information on the rotates, I think Me2 stayed a bit too long there, and it was actually NMI, that's going to be hard for me to say the entire game, actually being able to get the entry pick and cut off the rotation for Me2 and really just kind of found a seam in this retake defense that that Collinsville was trying to do. Now, they did have a gun disadvantage. It was the round Classen is supposed to win, but it's the one that you should win. If they went 0-3 there because of the poor rotation at the beginning, it could have been really bad for Classen, but they were able to tie it up. And again, we see this default strategy from Collinsville. Collinsville just looking for that information, go to immediately rotate off the B side, seeming to like the space that they're getting on A. Me2 working this mid again, probably going to look for a pick up into Market here. Not 100% sure if they're going to be able to find anything, though. And Classen just completely cut off from this mid. Not 100% sure what's going on there. And actually no mid lurk this time. The first time we're going to see it in these 4 rounds.
Valorant, a very adaptive-based game, and I think Classen is starting to work towards that and start over-rotating less. I think if they can start or stop over-rotating and not getting baited by these Collinsville early sounds, now that Collinsville is doing a lot of those rotating back and forth on this attack, making sound.
Oh!
Nav going to get onto the side, manages to get one. Nice flick there. Adobo going to get over here really quick, trying to look for something through the smoke. Maybe a flash does come out. Karma Strike's getting hit by that. Going to meet up in this CT. NMI going to push out with these eyes. Me2 trying to make a pick. They know one is main now. Two behind this box here. Gets a swing on Average Taco. Average Taco getting the crouch onto NMI though. Nav sitting behind this box with only 1 HP. Adobo gets a slide in there with only a Sheriff. Tub manages to take him out. They did manage to see all three into that hallway though. Not a lot that Classen has left to their name. Tub getting that pick onto Karma Strike. Cyber Dragon. The only one remaining, but Average Taco will go ahead and finish off that pick. A flawless for Collinsville. Looks like we're back into a save for Classen.
Yeah, Collinsville being able to actually change up their game plan, not playing as defaulty, actually having the 5-man hit really early, and Classen did the opposite of what they needed to, which Valorant is like a chess match. So a lot of the times you have to be able to gamble and play these different plays. Classen had fallen for the early commitments for the first couple of rounds by Collinsville, and Collinsville switched it up perfectly whenever Classen tried to adapt to that. So once again, just getting the bad roll if you're on Classen. Really unfortunate to lose that round, but didn't look that bad. Again, it's just when they go back in for retake, I feel like they don't have a lot of util walking in at the same time, and Collinsville on the other side is pairing their util very well together.
Classen going to go ahead and force up here. 4 rifles and a Spectre had enough money to where they are just going to try and get what they can. They are down a couple rounds, but they are on the defense. So I think with it being, I would say, a more attacker-sided map, once they swap, especially with the composition that they do have, it might be a little bit easier. Nav getting the first pick onto Adobo in mid, 70 HP remaining, but Classen is now down that mid player. The Reyna is going to lurk over to try to take over that space. The Sova and the Killjoy about to have some action here. Tub looking to send this Aftershock out there. Just deciding to play it a little slow in this main, maybe waiting for some more information to happen. Now they're going to go ahead and decide to explode. Tub sending out that Aftershock. Raze going in with the ultimate. Nav managing to get one with that Raze rocket. Doesn't know that there's another there. Cyber Demon does take out Nav. Cyber Demon takes out another. Average Taco being taken out. Still almost fully HP remaining. Now 33 health left. Does decide to swap to the pistol. Not quite sure where they are. That flash gonna blind out. NMI seeing the gun. Manages to get one off that eyeball. Only 2v2 now. Collinsville having the Vice and the breach up for some defense here with the Reyna and the Omen trying to retake here. NMI sees one towards main. Clears out the angle, sees one, gets one on the Tub, goes ahead and heals. Me2 trying to make something happen into the smoke. They do pass each other. Me2 kind of waiting. Me2 manages to get Gamer2 and then swings out and kills NMI, clutching that round. Collinsville 4-1 off the back of Me2.
Me2 making an amazing play there. The patience, and that's all you can talk about with Collinsville. They're working this clock so well on the attack, and Me2 showing it right there. Being able to slowly understand what the play is that's going on, getting the timing onto Gamer2, the Omen for Classen, and being able to make the play when it matters most. A really great round for Collinsville. That's going to sink Classen back into eco for a round or two, and it's going to be basically a free round for them. Should be able to go up 5-0, probably a caster curse, or 5-1. But yeah, it's a really amazing play. You love seeing those hero plays, and Me2's been making plays already in these first 5 rounds, seeing the lurk up mid, getting that information, having strong wraps and killing people in rotation, being able to make those plays is really, really good.
Nav going to go ahead and lurk up mid now. The Omen also lurking towards that A side 3, sitting towards B, but decide to send themselves towards mid. A Debo sitting here in mid like usual, trying to jump spot this angle, trying to see if they can get as much information as possible. The rest of Collinsville is going to force their way over to this A side. The Omen and the Killjoy going to be stationed over here. The Killjoy a little off-site with the utility. The Omen sitting here just waiting for some information to come out. Tub is going to flash through that corner to try to get some picks. Nav manages to spot out a Debo. Takes out the remaining 4 players here for Collinsville. Nav is going to go ahead and meet up with them. all sitting in main right now. Going to go ahead and wait for this explode. Sends that Vice ult out. No Spectre anymore. Tries to swap to that Classic, but just doesn't get there in time. Nav managing to get that pick onto GamerTube. Now the rest of the 3 players on Classen going to try to make this retake happen with only some pistols. Now manages to get one, Mitu getting the other. Karma Strike's the only player remaining. Mitu decides to swing out, gets a nice tap there onto Karma Strikes. A flawless round for Collinsville, putting them 5-1.
Yeah, I felt like that lurk up mid from the Rays was really risky, especially on those ecos. If you do end up getting picked or tricked there, you give up a rifle and you start putting Classen back into that round. But being able to get that pick and immediately leave, the wisdom of knowing how much focus is going to have to be on that mid, opened up the A site perfectly for Collinsville. And again, we see that explosiveness from that Breach Gecko comp with the Omen flash as well. There's just so much offensive potential with the comp that Collinsville has. Taking is going to be really easy for them, especially with the amount of utility that they're able to dump into those takes.
Yep, Classen, big round to win now that they have the weapons. Certainly don't want to go 6-1 and then have to save again to 7-1. Doesn't feel great. A lot of information coming out on the A side. Classen looking to rotate really quickly. Nobody left on the B side anymore. That orb is going to get taken. I think the Sova does hear it, is going to try to look towards that main again. But Collinsville decides to just take that orb and run with it. This Vice still sitting in mid. 2 on A, 2 on B. Big default here for Collinsville. Just waiting to see what information they can gather. Playing really smart Valorant right now instead of just trying to take whatever picks they can get. Try to get as much information as possible before forcing a site with as much as they can do. Looks like Collinsville is going to go ahead and force over towards this B site. The Reyna, the only one here. The Sova sitting in this market. Mitu getting some information in the mid onto the Neon. Decides not to ego it. Backs up. Inamai gets a nice pick onto Nav. The Flash going to come out. Decides to dismiss just in case. Flash goes away. Now looking for some more. Tries to watch and see what happens. There's the Gecko ulti. Decides to just run away from it. Does end up getting hit by it, but no worries. Their team is there. Adam Tao gets one. Adobo saving Inamai there. Manages to get it. Reyna Eye coming out. Going to try to make an aggressive play. That wingman is going to stop them a little bit. The other Eye coming out. 2 players remaining here sitting behind the box. Adobo manages to get one into the tub. They know another's back there because they saw the Gecko. Getting 3 on a Collinsville right now. Adam Tao stationed for this ace right here. Trying to look for it, it looks like. 1 in market, 1 in CT. GamerTube looking to force it. Going to go ahead and have to back up now. That bomb just ticking away. Adam Tao getting the 4th. Looking for that ace. Isn't going to get it, though. Does decide to back up. Not quite the round that you want to see from Classen.
Yeah, but again, another great play from Collinsville. A lot of good util being forced on these entry points, and it's making it really difficult for the players of Classen, as we do see a timeout coming from Classen here, probably trying to figure out exactly what they need to change up a little bit. Something I think, Jackson, that could really help them is NMI is getting some crazy picks in these defenses, especially in like a 2v5 scenario where they're not supposed to be getting those picks. I think taking your Reyna duelist, who looks to have the hot hand right now, being able to walk them up somewhere, trying to find that duel, force them into that duel, maybe a nice change up for Classen. Try and take some additional space somewhere. Especially this mid angle, they've been kind of struggling to get any mid control because they haven't really been engaging on it. Maybe just use some util, walk your Reyna mid, let them try and make the play rather than the play that Mitu has been making over and over again on this mid lurk. Same with Khan.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think looking for that mid space, especially with what I was talking about at the beginning of the game, with that mid being super important and kind of pertinent to this map, looking for as much as possible. We do have Adobo, jiggle peeking that mid and occasionally getting some information, but I understand why they're not doing it because they have at most one of Collinsville's players. They haven't actually like aggressively forced it, but they have gotten a pick there almost every time. So I think it's either you all or nothing in that mid lane, you know. Instead of trying to force that pick, just jiggle peek this, and instead of trying to take the pick, let's say Adobo spots out the Vice here, just backing up and saying, we got the information, nobody's mid except for the Vice, we're good.
Yeah.
That breach hole is going to come out onto the B site, though. Collinsville is going to get some aggression onto this. Be it the Omen going to get a TP as well. Already having the site space taken, that bomb is going to go down for Collinsville. A pick into market. Classen having all 4 players towards this CT. Maybe going to try to go fast here. Like you said, NMI getting a lot of picks so far. Just to force it in. NMI getting one. Adobo getting another. Keep forcing it out. Adobo with the second. Karma strikes with that stinger onto one. Me2 manages to get one from mid. Me2 the only one remaining. Adobo gonna stick that bomb. A fantastic shot from Me2 onto Karma strikes. Adobo gonna slide out. Gets the information that they need. The bomb is
Gotta
half.
have to.
Not a whole lot of time remaining though. Neon gonna be able to just stick this bomb. That is another
play.
round for Classen.
Ooh!
And a fantastic
top
shot
it
to
off.
clean that up just to get that 3K. They did exactly what you said, Garrett. Just forcing out NMI and Adobo as fast as possible with the rest of their team through one lane. Just boom, 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 one after the other. Too many players overwhelming them, and is just able to clean that site up and get that bomb.
What can I say? VCT, if you are listening, my coaching resume is right here. Okay? Make sure I get hired and make sure I get paid a lot of money. But yeah, no, really fantastic play from Classen. A great post-plant play by Adobo. I thought they played that really wise, being able to play for the objective and understanding the angles that the Vise Me2 could not get to, being able to clutch that round for Classen, and I felt like that was a must-win round for Classen to stay in this game.
Yeah, exactly. And now, Collinsville gonna do their classic, sending the Omen towards the A, the Vice on a lurk towards the mid. The rest of Collinsville stationed B, going to go ahead and rotate over to this Omen though. Some more sound going off from Me2 in mid. Looking to go towards the B to try to make some sound, maybe force over a couple rotates. Sends out that flash, does end up recalling it just to get some sound off. That orb will get taken. I don't know if Classen can hear that with how far back they are stationed. Collinsville, I think, just looking to explode. Classen doing a good job of not over-rotating now, though. Keeping both players and especially the KJ utility still over there. Ultimate from the Rays is going to come out. Collinsville exploding onto this A site. Wingman going to get that bomb down. Collinsville with 5 up still. Going to get that bomb down. Classen looking to get on this retake really quickly. Smoke is going to go down. Karma looking for something here. Only has a stinger to their name. Nav going to try to get an aggressive peek. Does manage to get it on NMI. An unfortunate pick for Collinsville.
The trades start coming back though, and Me2's coming on this lurk.
Big flash there from Me2. Me2 the only one remaining. Only has a Spectre though. 7-2 here for Collinsville. Classen. What can they do here, Coach Fuzzball?
See, I was going to renounce my coaching status because I was about to say, you know, we've seen Me2 and Nav, whoever walks up this lurk mid, they kind of abandon it once they get like up to the defender's choke. And I was like, just don't pay them respect. Wait until they actually walk all the way up and have something for them to be punished by it. Be able to have these fast rotates and just realize they're going to rotate back to their team. Well, literally as my brain was thinking that, Me2 does walk past the defender's choke and get 2 on that little flanky there, which is always awesome to see if you're Sentinel. You know, Sentinel's known as the defending half, you know, your Cyphers, your Vises, I guess. But Me2 actually being able to frag out a little bit, being able to get those picks and just cause so much chaos for Classen. Really extremely worried about what they can exactly get away with on these rotates as we see Nav swing out. Really aggressive play here. Running out the pick, but does go back for it. Still gets 2. NMI with 2 as well. Not the trades you want to see in an eco like this. Me2 does get the, oh my gosh, 1v5. But can NMI do it? Has had the clicks all day. Looking for the ace would be huge for Classen if they were able to do this. Has no idea where the last 2 are.
Only 2 players remaining for Collinsville. NMI with 3K right now. Has the ultimate up, decides not to pop it here. A fantastic shot. Looking for the 5th, but doesn't quite get it. Almost a generational retake there from NMI, but doesn't quite get the picks that they wanted. Before everything went off, I almost wanted to bring up that Classen does have 4 ults to their name, and on that retake didn't use any of them. I think what Classen needs to be doing is using their ult economy a little bit better. I think if you were looking at the stats, obviously Collinsville is going to have more ultimates than Classen does, just because they have more picks, they have more bomb plants. It does make sense. But I think Collinsville is just ult cycling, I would say, a bit better than Classen is. Klassen's just not sending those ults out and is saving them too long for a explosive round. I think they need to be using a Killjoy ulti, for example, especially on this B site, maybe in market, to try to get some retake space and force them all into that main and giving NMI a better chance to get these frags.
Yeah, making those winnable rounds into one, or what those ultimates need to be used, not making one rounds into more one. So those ecos, which I think is what their mindset was on what exactly they needed to do, was, hey, we're in an eco, let's not commit ults to it, let's try and get these last 2 rounds when we have guns. But again, we saw NMI get 4 eliminations as well as half on the breach, and ultimate is what could sway that.
Classen deciding to sit up closer here. GamerTube now sitting in this hallway instead of all the way back, decides to send a smoke out. But unfortunately, that Visal is going to come out. No Vandal. That's the second time that has happened to this Omen. Not feeling great with these Vice ulties. Now a 4v5 for Collinsville. Classen having the ultimates up. That's 2 players down. They have the Reyna ult and the Neon ult. Neon does get taken down, though. NMI may be looking for another generational comeback here, but Me2 with another classic lurk through mid here. NMI just looking to make something happen, decides to run for the aggressive play on the Me2, gets a fantastic shot, is able to take him out, but not a whole lot that they can do in the rest of this round, except for either A, save, or B, look for some exit picks here.
And I think the save is the good option. Try and play to change up the score, and I don't know if they're going to have the eco after this round, but we're going to see NMI almost had a clutch earlier. Not going to be able to get this one. Going to go down 2-9. Still set up for the 3-9 curse. Like, there's more than potential. You even said that you believe that this is an attacker-sided map, so maybe Classen is believing that as well right now. Not a great economy as they're walking into this. NMI not going to be able to buy that light armor and rifle with the rest of the team. May shift around. I mean, again, personally, I think you give your best gun to the person who has the hot hand. If you are Classen, look for your Reyna that has been clicking heads and be able to give them the best opportunity. But again, also had a lot of success with that Guardian. As for the side of Collinsville, no ultimates here, still 4 for Classen. Going to be a little bit of an awkward situation, but has all of their utility to work with on these takes. Probably going to see another explosive take. Right now it's looking like it's on that B side, and with the speed they do it, and they actually have decided they heard me. Coach Fuzzball speaks again.
Yeah, Collinsville deciding to play a little bit different this round. They send the Vice towards the A, the other 4 towards the B side. They decide to explode really aggressively onto this B side, taking Bomb down really quickly like they're used to, but NMI getting a really early pick onto Nav. 4v5 here. Me2 does get Cyber Dragon on that classic lurk towards mid, decides to go ahead and back up, get their 1, send it back towards B. Looking towards mid still, Adobo getting the pick on the average Taco. NMI 1 onto Adam Towers, while only 2 players remaining for Collinsville, both at such low HP. Tub does manage to get 1, though. It is a 3v2 here. The Reyna ult is going to be popped. They have 2 ults remaining for Classen. They definitely should be looking to use these, especially since it is the last round. NMI going to get into Tub, but Tub manages to get the 1 pick with not much HP remaining. That Killjoy ult does go down, but they don't have a lot of time remaining. Me2 gets the pick onto that Omen. Karma Strike's the only one remaining. Gets it onto Tub, but unfortunately, they do not have the time remaining to get onto that bomb and stick it.
Yeah, just not enough time there for Classen. I think the things we've seen them do a lot of success, as we are going to flip here for the half Classen going into attack here, but we've seen them have a lot of success when they don't play slow. Whenever Classen tries to match the tempo that Collinsville had on those takes, with their retakes, they were actually getting a good handle on it, and it wasn't giving Me2 enough time to set up on these off angles, being able to get picks and rotations and just force time wasted. A lot of these rounds are just because Me2, 17-4 by the way at the half, doing fantastic on that Sentinel role. A lot of that is happening because they're just letting Me2 exist and slowly get value, and it's just grinding the clock away in those post-plant scenarios.
Now that they're on this second half, I think Classen's goal here is just going to be 5 manning sites and just looking to use all of their utility to get NMI as much value as possible. NMI going really crazy in this game right now. If they can continue doing that, they could bring their team to victory if the rest of their team is also able to get some good utility usage, some good team play here. Me2 with this flash on the default bomb plant there is going to send it out, try to get a peek here. The wall is going to go off, though, slowing them down a little bit. Collinsville rotating really quickly over here. Only 1 player remaining, deciding to send up that raise as an aggressive lurk. Classen still sitting in this B main with all 3 players for Collinsville rotating over towards this B. The Omen and the Rays getting really aggressive on these flanks. Going to try to pinch Collinsville into this B main and not let them get out. They are going to hear the rotate, though. Nav decides to send out the nade and then just back up. Maybe looking for a pick and then back up again.
Yeah, there's just so much space control for Collinsville. Being able to recognize that it's a full B push and take up this mid and A main. Adobo looking for the pick on Nav, but still that's going to give Collinsville that information of the rotation that's happening, and we see the rotations come in suit for Collinsville. Nav's taking some pot shots, looking for that cheeky kill. Is this going to slow down Classen enough where they're not going to get onto site here? They keep trying to take this duel in mid from Nav, slowly getting onto the push here. Tub, no util. Got in the corner before anyone got here. 14 seconds left on the clock. Adobo trying to clear the site with V2 at the back. Looking for the right time.
7 seconds remaining. Has to get that bomb down. Only 5 seconds remaining. Gets the other. No time left to put that bomb down. An amazing retake there from Collinsville. Classen did not have a whole lot of time to get that bomb down and just had to try to stick that. Collinsville, recognizing it with the amount of time that was left on that timer, just takes that in stride and is able to get the picks that they needed so that bomb couldn't get forced down.
Yeah, Collinsville on attack, they played the clock amazingly, being able to pull out util, pull out these rotations from Classen while using that minute-and-a-half clock that they get. And on defense, understanding the value of the clock and being able to slowly pull down Classen, forcing them to stay in the mid, getting them stuck in the B main, finally committing to the A main, having to do an awkward plant due to the time. It really smart Valorant, just as a whole, being able to play the objective, play the timers. As we see, once again, Classen going to be on an eco here, looking for a little bit of a B rush, a little hesitant on it though, probably seeing this molly in front of them, the Vice molly. Can you see that as an attacker? Can you see it before you get there? I'm not sure. I haven't played a whole lot of Vice.
Vice mollies are invisible. So unless you are, it's like a killjoy molly.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
So you have to be close to it to be able to see it. But Classen is going to send all 5 towards this B side again to make something happen. Collinsville rotating over really quickly. Adam Tao managing to get hit down to 5 HP. NMI getting a nice shot. Tub looking for a flash on this engage. Classen still looking like they want to take it. NMI going to follow out after the Sova drone. Not quite sure where the Vice utility is going to be. There is the Vice flash. Tries to sit behind this corner to live. Nav getting one. Karma Strikes getting another. 4v4 here. Classen going to try to make something happen. Nav getting a pick onto NMI as they exit. Only 2 players remaining now for Classen after Nav gets another. Tub getting one as well. Adobo gets one on a Nav, but Tub cleaning that one up. Collinsville now at match point. What can Classen do on this attack to try to get past this Collinsville defense?
I think they... Classen really needs to look at trying to take more map control. Use this mid that is so important on Sunset, being able to get more information rather than just 5 hitting sites. Especially when they get peaked so early by Automato at, you couldn't pronounce this earlier either, the Gecko for Collinsville. Being able to get that early information is really good and actually cause the rotations to come in really quick, and they never even got onto site before all 5 players from Collinsville were there. And am I getting
very aggressive play from Collinsville? Just decides to get up there as fast as possible. Maybe just try to get those early picks and overwhelm Classen. Doesn't quite go the way that they wanted. That's the round that Classen needed to start getting back into this game. Now, they just need to take this momentum in stride. Valorant definitely very momentum-based, just going to try to get as much going as possible. Now, NMI doing a great job, 18-12 for their team right now. Still needs to do like what I was saying earlier and just try to get as much utility out on that site to get NMI out as possible. This round, it looks like they're going to send NMI towards this mid to try to maybe get an early pick. Collinsville decides to sit 2 people on this mid, forcing them over towards the B site, hearing some information for Collinsville. A lot of shots coming out, a lot of sound coming out, all 5 players for Classen forcing towards this B site. Collinsville, though, sending almost all of their players over. The Omen for Collinsville deciding to sit into this main just in case Classen has alert going up. Classen tried to look a little bit aggressively, does a good job of baiting out that Vice molly though. A nice shot from NMI onto Adam Tao, decides to take that pick and rotate with it, knowing that the rest of Collinsville is probably over onto that B site. Quickly going to rotate over to this A with this Neon. Collinsville still sitting on this Omen though, looking to try to get a pick or two, make something happen. manages to get one and back up onto Karma Strikes, going to slow down the push from Classen a little bit, not having their Killjoy to set down these lurk mollies or turrets anymore. This Vice may be looking to get something to happen. Omen Paranoia going to come out from Average Taco, does get the Reyna, doesn't push off it though, decides to play a little bit safer, not let anything happen. The Sova Dart does come out, has to shoot it, knowing that they're behind that box now. NMI doing a great job of clearing this side out right now. Me Too gets one on the flank, Average Taco gets another, NMI gets 4, this could be NMI's ace here. The bomb is down, only 10 seconds remaining, doesn't know where Me Too is, has to try to stick that bomb. Me Too looking for it, is Me Too gonna see it? Me Too manages to see it, just unfortunate timing. I think if NMI could have gotten behind that box, could have made something happen. That's 2 4Ks there for NMI, almost winning their team around twice, but that will be the game, 13-3 for Collinsville.
Yeah, like I said a couple rounds ago, Collinsville just plays really solid Valorant. We saw it when they played against Atoka a couple weeks ago when we watched them, and today against Classen. Being able to understand the timing of Valorant and the rotations and the space creation that you can take off of so many different things, a really strong showing from Collinsville. I mean, there's a reason that they're 6-0 in our small school division for the OESL.
Yeah, congratulations to Collinsville for keeping their undefeated streak. Congratulations to NMI, though, for doing a fantastic job against that team and trying to make something happen. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.